Millennium Computer's fast online tutorials for purchasing card. Committed transactions are downloaded from your bank regularly throughout the month, and before the end of the cycle date, you need to reconcile those transactions. In this tutorial, you will learn how to use filters to list your transactions, edit your transactions, split one transaction into two, and delete a split transaction. You can open the Edit Transactions page from the Account Holders menu. I want to show you a trick you can use to make more room on the page. Just click the arrow on the right side of the title bar, and the fast header at the top is hidden, and you gain almost an inch of space to work with. I am going to execute this report without filter options to show you what happens, and then come back and select the filter options. This account has been assigned a department and can also see card account transactions for other users assigned the same department. I am going to reopen the report options, and there are three ways to do it. At the bottom, click the Show Report Options icon. At the top right, click the Show Options button, or click anywhere on the Report Options title bar. You can use the filter options to minimize the amount of transactions listed, and there are several different types of filters you can use. Account holder or number, select a cycle date or transaction date. You can filter by gross amount, merchant, or transaction ID. From the transaction status list, you can select options for reconciled or not reconciled. However, I want to edit only my own transactions, and so I'm going to use my name as a filter. Obviously, I know my own name, but want to show you how to use the search option for this filter. If you don't know the account holder's exact name, you can type a portion of it, and any name with those letters in it will be in the list. If you need to, scroll down and then click the username, and then click Add. And it is inserted into the filter. I'm going to clear the item to show you the other way to use this filter control. Just click in the box and type the name. It must be the exact name, so make sure you are typing it correctly. You can press the Enter key on your keyboard or click the green plus icon beside the filter to add it to the list. If you want to use the same name as a filter every time you open this page, you can save the filter value by clicking the small Save icon above the filter control. And then every time you open this page, those same values are automatically inserted into the filter. You can change or add new values, and when you no longer want to use them, click the small red X to remove it as a saved value. I have the Test 6 account holder filter I want, and will execute the report again. At the bottom of the page, move your mouse over the Legend button for an explanation of the types of transactions on this page. These transactions are red with an X and are ready to be edited. The editing form opens, and note how the transaction line is highlighted. It is a good visual indicator of which transaction you are editing. I am going to edit this transaction. However, you can also split a transaction, and I will show you that later. There is also a legend in this form. Again, just move your mouse over the button to see a description. Default accounting codes are assigned when the account is set up and are automatically inserted when you are editing a transaction. You can change them, but make sure the required fields have a code. You can change or add to the comments to make them more meaningful. When you are finished, click the Save icon. You don't actually need to change anything in the transaction. You can just open it and click Save. A couple of things happened. An X is inserted at the end, indicating you can delete the changes to this transaction. The line in the data grid is still highlighted, and the icon color has changed to green, which means it is reconciled. I am going to split the next transaction, and I can open it by clicking the unreconciled icon in the list or clicking the arrow in the form. Please note that you can split any reconciled or unreconciled transaction. The second transaction is displaying in the editing form, and note also how the transaction is highlighted in the list. When you split a transaction, a second line opens. If set up at your institution, your default accounting codes are automatically inserted, and you can change those codes if you want to. If you are going to change the codes, you can type them if you know what they are, or search for them. Comments are optional, but you can add them if you want. If your institution uses the option, make sure the Calculate Taxes checkbox is selected. If you want to split by the gross amount instead of net, select it from the list. Type the net or gross amount you want to split the transaction by. If you were calculating taxes by the gross amount, that field would be open instead of the net amount field. After you click Save, the following happens. The amount and taxes are automatically recalculated to accommodate the split. An X is inserted at the end, indicating you can delete the changes to the transactions. The transaction line in the data grid list is highlighted, and the icon color has changed to green, meaning it is reconciled. If you want to delete a split transaction, all you have to do is click the X. And the amounts and taxes are added back to the original transaction.